Right. I'm so glad that you all are here. I want to bring up Joyce Kaufman and give her a round of applause. She's been through quite a bit in this past month, and really wanted her to come out and just to hear this. We in a great conversation that we've been able to have, and just really making a difference, giving a voice for the conservatives out here. So, Joyce, thanks so much for coming out tonight. And
happy birthday, Joyce!
Thank you.
Her birthday was yesterday.
Yes, it was.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joyce. Happy birthday to you.
That's the only time they're nice in this crowd. You got to have a birthday. Whew. First of all, to all the potential candidates that are sitting in here tonight, I just want to let you know, don't worry about Breck. I'll be making an announcement in a couple of weeks that'll help you all get elected. Just not kidding. There's a difference, in my opinion, between these three candidates. However, there's a systemic problem with all three of them. And that's part of what you see, I'm confused. Is this a Republican group?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. See, I'm having a problem here. Yes, no, maybe, conservative, up, down, inside out. I'm not a Republican, I know that.
Whoever said it's an American group had it right.
Okay, so it's not a Republican group.
It's not a. I don't have a mic.
I'm off. Kenny did that on purpose. People would love to have that kind of power, Kenny.
For sure.
Here, here.
But mine for me.
So, but what happens within there is just a great group. There's Democrats, Independents, Libertarians. From the crowd at DC Works for Us tonight, the reason, though, is that there are a lot of Republicans that are here specifically, too, for the candidates.
Gotcha. Okay, because I was confused by that, because I was wondering, is it in a month when you're going to have the Democratic guys here? Because I want to come to that one. I can only imagine what kind of questions you're going to ask them. I think that when I say there's a systemic problem, what I mean by that is there is an unrealistic expectation on the part of the Broward County Republicans at what kind of power rests in Breck. And I think that's the first thing that Republicans better start thinking about. Not so much who's the chairman of your party in Broward County, but rather what does the Republican Party in Broward County have to do to establish a strategy in a county where you are outnumbered, and not only outnumbered, but significantly outvoiced. And by that I mean you have a tough time getting your voice heard as Republicans in Broward County. So I think that it's fascinating to me that anybody would want the job. Actually, I have to tell you, I said to Chip LaMarca, Chairman and Commissioner LaMarca, for the last 5 years, what's in this for you? But at least now I know. He is the commissioner, and I don't even remember him running. So somehow that really, and I love Commissioner LaMarca, but that was an unusual election again. And I really think that that's important as an independent conservative, which is what I am, and therefore I should actually be representative of this group. I watched the Republican Party in Broward County for the last 33 years, and they have provided me with way more entertainment than the Seinfeld show ever did. And the Democratic Party is even better. So it's comical, really, to see how this happens. But I have to tell you what my sense of the Breck, kind of like the Bears in Broward County. You guys fight all the time. It's embarrassing for other people in this county to watch you. It's obnoxious. it renders you, and I'm just being honest, because as an outsider, I can tell you what it looks like. You don't hold fast to conservative principles in Broward County Republican Party because you've been bending for 30 years to try to stay alive, so you haven't got a clue what conservative principles are. And therefore, when you listen to these candidates and they all tout themselves as conservatives, there was one woman who asked a very important question. Well, you've been there all this time. How come nothing has significantly happened to change membership in the Broward County Republican Party? And I don't mean to be like, a wet blanket, but I was asked to come in here and do analysis, and my analysis is meant to help you. And I really think that if you cannot find a way to have discourse in a civil manner with each other, you can't have discourse at the public stage. You can't beat Democrats at being nasty. They're much nastier than you are. If you're going to try and compete on that level instead of actually talk about conservative principles and what that means, then you will stay the reluctant third party. Whoever said that before, that's where you will find yourselves shortly, because independents like me are not inclined to join the Republican Party. And you do not make it attractive for us. And I haven't supported a Democrat in 13 years. And I still joined the party for 30 days, 28 days, just so I could vote in a primary. And the minute my candidate bailed, so did I. There was nothing to keep me there. And that's relevant. You were asking these guys to get your membership up, and I'm addressing those of you who are Broward Republican Executive Committee members, or Broward declare yourself as Republicans who live in Broward County. I'm asking you, give me a reason to join a party where I support 98% of your candidates, and so far you haven't been able to do that. So when you look at these chairmen, you really have to start thinking about what their plan is, not to become chairman, because I heard tonight all their plans to become chairman. And I heard about, and it was interesting because you have a strategy from like, let's get our act together and do this like a business from Jay. And then you have what I would call the more traditional, report by Richard of rules and formulas and that kind of stuff, and then Tom, who just likes to thumb his nose at everybody all the time. I mean, and I actually find that the most appealing characteristic. However, it doesn't make for a cohesive party, any of them. And I think you need this reality check right now. Those of you who are sitting here trying to decide, because there are some other candidates. I think there are like 46 people running for the chairmanship, or certainly there are more people. I think there's people in this room right now that are running for the chairmanship. Am I right? That aren't speakers? No? Okay, well, I know Eugene Robinson is running.
Yeah, but he's been invited here.
Okay, and I thought that there was a woman candidate running. Am I wrong? I mean, these people have called me up and told me they're running. They're not really running? Okay. So, but there you have it. Most people don't even know who's running. Most people don't even understand what you're talking about when you say the Sheridan. That you're having these meetings on a monthly basis at the Sheridan. And that's your PR piece that's fallen apart. If I were you, I'd be worrying about nominating a public relations chairman for the Broward County Republican Party. I mean that. And I sat here tonight, and to be perfectly honest, I was looking for, some sort of reason to join the Republican Party in Broward County so that I could get more clients in the future. And you didn't give me one. You really didn't. And that makes me sad, because I made a prediction to, I think he's here still, James Gleason. He was here. There you are. I made a prediction to him when I met with him this morning about something else, and I said that there is going to be a substantial shift in politics because of the frustration of the American people right now with what's going on. And Republicans stand to benefit greatly, as they did on November 2nd, from this substantial shift. The only problem is, over and over again, I have seen the Republican Party in Broward County and Palm Beach County, and actually the National Party, repeatedly snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.